Good morning, everyone.
Hello, morning.
I hope you're well on this lovely, well, it was sunny a minute ago, but this almost sunny day.
It's gone in.
It's gone in. That's okay. Good. So, my name's Matt. I'm the exercise instructor for the team.
And I'm Jodie, one of the cardiac nurses.
And we're from the West Suffolk Community Cardiac Rehab team, and we're here to do your exercise session with you, as you hopefully know about by now.
So just before we get going, obviously we just need to go through the usual checks with you. So those of you that have been in the programme for a little while, it'll all be very familiar. Those of you that it's your first time of joining us, then welcome. Hopefully you've received your email which tells you which one of us you need to follow and what level. We have been slowly working our way around calling people. So some of you might have discussed with one member of our team about adjusting your level up, and obviously we might not have managed to adjust the emails just yet. So if that is the case, then please follow the latest advice that you've been given. Make sure that you look at the checklist as well. So that's in the description in the lower part of this screen. And again, it's also in your patient booklets that you have as well. So just make sure you have that out, just run through that, check you're happy, make sure you feel well enough to exercise today. Remember, we do have a nurse on triage this morning. As always, there's a nurse on triage for our team throughout the week. And we always make sure there's a nurse available during these sessions as well. So if you do have any concerns or any queries, then please make sure that feel free to contact one of us nurses on that number that you have for us. And again, that's on the front of your booklets and in the emails that we've sent you.
For those of you that are outside of our service, okay, so remember, if you haven't done this before, you haven't done it for a long time, we do encourage you to follow Jodie, okay? If you're doing it for a while and you feel nice and comfortable, you can obviously follow myself. Jodie's going to do the 2-to-1 version of the program, so you're going to do 2-minute aerobic, 1-minute active recovery. I'm going to do a 4-to-1 program, which is a 4-minute aerobic session and with a 1-minute active recovery. Some of you within our service may want to do that 5-to-0 program where there's no recovery. So if you're following myself for majority, you can just continue when I go into the active recovery. You can just continue with that particular exercise for a further minute and then join me back up for the next exercise, okay? But obviously we would have talked to you about that before this session.
Remember, throughout the session, keeping in your own comfortable limits. We will keep repeating ourselves on that one, but it is very important, especially obviously as you can see us, but we are unable to see you. So just make sure that you're maintaining in your own comfortable limits, okay? So if you need to drop the arms out to keep the feet moving, you can go without any weights and things like that, just keeping everything in those comfortable limits, and keep referring to that Borg scale. So again, those of you that are in our service, it's in your booklet just past the midway point. So if you rifle through and just have that on the table or on a chair or something in front of you, just so you can use that as a reference point. Remember, before we get started, we're at that sort of, now we're standing, we're extremely light, so that's our starting point. And what we're going to do through the warm-up is work our way up through the gears, getting ourselves towards that light sort of zone where we're feeling a little bit warmer, feeling quite comfortable, feeling good to carry on into that conditioning phase. In the conditioning phase, we're aiming to be between that light to somewhat hard, and that's that moderate intensity. So that's that point where you're starting to catch your breath, feeling warm, feeling your heart rate up a bit, but you're feeling quite comfortable to carry on, and that's really important. And in that zone, that's where we're going to get all the health benefits and all the fitness benefits. And then for the cool down, what we're going to do is just work our way back down those gears again, slowing everything down before we stop. So yeah.
Okay, so just think about the weights, obviously. So we've got the fancy dumbbells, but if you're at home, okay, you can use tins of beans or bottles of water. A 500ml bottle of water is about half a kilo. A litre bottle of water is about a kilo, as represented by Jodie here. That's very beautifully done.
Thank you.
And water. Make sure you've got some water nearby, all right? It is getting warmer, okay? The warm days are coming, so make sure you keep them well hydrated as we go through, and make sure that your room is well ventilated, so open a window or something like that. You can pop some music on, okay, so you can follow along. You can turn us down a little bit if we're a little bit annoying, which I can fully appreciate. And pop some music on to make sure it's nothing too fast, okay, so you're not, getting away from things. And something that's got a good, nice rhythmic beat, okay?
Good. Last of all, just make sure you've got some decent footwear on as well. So it's really important, especially as you're working and doing the sessions at home. No slippers, no bare feet. Make sure that you're wearing some good, decent footwear just to protect yourself. So obviously there's a lot of marching on the spot and things like that.
And make sure they're tied up as well.
Yes, absolutely. I have done mine this morning, so we're off to a good start. Excellent.
Very good. Right, get all those bits and pieces together. You might also want a chair for a little bit of support. Okay, so if you don't find your balance is the best, you might want to just put a chair by your side. We haven't got any squats or anything today, but obviously if you want that bit of extra support, use a sideboard next to you or a chair. Just bring a dining room chair in or something. Okay. Good. All right. So I think we're ready to go.
I think we are. Let's
get
going.
Good. All right. Let's start off with a gentle march in the spot then. So remember, for the warm-up, moving up through those gears, take everything lovely and comfortably to begin with, okay? We're just building the exercise up slowly, bringing the heart rate up gently, mobilizing those joints, getting all the muscles ready for the exercise session itself. Very good. And we'll start with some little toe taps out to the side. So toe tapping out to the side. And here comes the sun.
I can feel it. I'm getting the greenhouse effects.
We'll have to turn you around so you don't get burnt on one
rotating.
side.
End up with farmer's arm.
Good. So remember, keep those movements nice and slow and nice small movements. Keep with your own comfortable limits. If it's painful in your hips, you can just return to your march. And let's go back to that walk again. And we'll have some toe taps out in front. So toe tapping out in front, toes down to the floor, heels off the floor. And then we're going to go into those heel digs. So heel digs down to the floor, heels down, toes off the floor. And then we're going to alternate. So if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can do heel, heel, toe, toe. Heel, heel, toe, toe. Heel, heel, toe, toe. Very good. Keep that going for me, all right? And if you can, try and get one of your feet to tap out to the side. You don't have to, but it's entertaining for people in your household. So you can do it. Heel dig out in front, heel to the side, toe out in front, and toe to the side. You can just do the heel, heel, toe, toe in front if you want to. And if you want a little bit more of a challenge, change those feet around, so out to the other side. Good, last ones. And let's go back to that walk again. Good, just allow your arms just to swing gently by your side. Remember, at any point you feel you're getting too breathless, leave the arms out, just do the leg movements. Use that chair for support as we do some little toe taps out behind. Remember, keeping your own comfortable range of movement, just little taps out behind. Nothing too strenuous at the moment. That's all to come. It's my chair mime again.
It is a very good mime.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not too high backed, is it?
No.
Good. And back to your walk again. Very good. Give those arms a bit more of a swing again. And again, use that chair if you need to. Let's bring those knees up, touching lightly onto the opposite knee. Opposite hand, opposite knee if you can. You can do same hand, same knee if you want to. Remember, use that chair if you need to. Take it all at your comfortable pace. Very good. And back to your march again. Good. We're going to go back to those toe taps out to the side. So toe tapping out to the side. And this time you're going to bring the arm in. So corresponding the arm with the leg. Keep the arms nice and low to begin with. Remember, it should be lovely and easy still. And again, if you want that bit more of a challenge, you can try and do opposite arm, opposite leg. You don't have to, but again, it's entertaining. Unfortunately, I can't see you, but there we go. Good, and let's go back to your march again. Let's roll those shoulders back. Some nice big slow movements. Roll those shoulders back. A little bit of mobilization for those joints. Good. Relax those arms down. Give them a shake out. And we're going to go into breaststrokes. Breaststroke out in front. Just opening up those chests.
Those of you that have had surgery, just keeping your own comfortable limits, remember. So if any of these upper body works start to feel like they're pulling, just reduce the movements down a little bit.
And we're going to front crawl, keeping the arms nice and low. And then we're going to backstroke, leading with the elbow again. Keep the arms nice and low. Just a bit of mobilization for those shoulders. And relax those arms down. Very good. And back to your march again. A little bit more determined march if you're feeling comfortable. And we're going to go back to those toe taps out in front. So toe taps out in front. And as the foot goes out, the same hand comes out in front. Same one.
That's a big one.
It's early, it's fine.
Only Tuesday.
And we're going to go for 1, a 2 on the same side. 1, a 2 on the same side. If you can, if you're feeling comfortable to. Give yourself a bit of a challenge. Challenge that brain, improve that coordination.
That's me included.
That's Jodie included, yeah. Sorry for me, I make these up. I get to practice at home. Very good. Last one. And then you can return to your march. And again, marching a little bit faster if you can. Good. Little toe taps out behind for me. Toe tapping out behind. And relax those arms in front. As the foot goes back, the same hand's going to come up in front. So foot goes back, same hand comes up in front. All right. So again, challenging your coordination a little bit. Those of you at home thinking, God, this is easy. All right, try and get one of your feet to go out to the side. I don't mind which one. And if you're still feeling smug about things, all right, try and get the other foot to go out to the side. One goes up behind, the other one goes out to the side. Hopefully you'll find your breathing coming up a little bit more now. As we start to pick the pace up. And we're going to go back to our march again. Marching a little bit faster. And a little bit faster if you're feeling comfortable. Remember, comfortable limits. Good. Slow that pace down. Back to your walk. And we'll do another little quick march. Nice quick march. Very good. Slow that pace down again. Give those arms a shake out. So relax those arms down by your side. Keep those feet moving. We're going to do a little bit more mobilization. So we can take those feet out to the side. Keep those toes tapping for me. Keep that circulation up. Soften the knees, hands onto the shoulders. Having to twist around to one side, back to the middle, and around to the other. Good. One more on each side, because I lost count. Good. And back to your walk. Count to pause hard. Good. Let's do some of those toe taps out behind, pushing that heel onto the floor and stepping back in. So toe, push those heels down and step back in. So we're not holding the stretches at all at the moment. It's a little bit of dynamic stretching. Just prepare those muscles for the activity. Let them know we're going to be doing something soon.
Remember, you can use a chair for this one to aid your balance as well if you need to.
You can indeed. Good, and back to walk. Very good. Let's have those heel digs out in front. Remember, toes pointing forward, sticking that bum out behind, hands in that supporting leg. Or onto a chair if you need to use that chair, remember. Feel that stretch in the upper part of the leg. Down the rear of that thigh. One more on each side. Very good. And back to your walk again. And finally, just kick those feet across in front of you like you're passing a ball to the person next to you. Make sure they're 2 meters away. Well, football training started back, hasn't it?
It has.
Yes. Good. One more on each side. So, and back to your march again. Almost forgot to do it.
You almost resisted.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. That's as long as I can go without doing it. Good. All right. Let's bring that pace back up then. So a quick rewarm. Bring those heart rates up. So hopefully by the end of this sort of 5 minutes, you'll be catching your breath slightly. and ready to start that exercise session. Okay, so let's bring those knees up again, touching lightly onto the opposite knee. So if you're finding it a little bit difficult, you find yourself getting a little bit breathless, and just follow Jodie, slowing that pace down slightly. If you're finding it lovely and easy and you feel you can do a lot more, then you can just start to pick that pace up, increase the size of those arm movements. So as always, as we go through the session, we'll give variations on the different exercises, okay, to either make them harder or easier. But just to remember who's following, who is it keeping you within your own comfortable limits. Sick saying that. Good, and let's go back to that march. Heel digs out in front, heel digs out. Turn those toes out slightly. Imagine you've got a big pair of braces on. We're going to go out on one, in on the other. Out on one, in on the other. Da, 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 da. Good, and if you can, try and get one of your toes to tap to the side. One heel digs, one toe taps. Oh, it's getting far too confusing now.
Confused yourself.
When I start struggling, I do start to worry. Change those feet around if you can. Yes, this will do. As long as your arms and legs are moving, it doesn't really matter.
Absolutely.
And again, let's go back to that march. And a little bit faster if you can, remember. Good, walk those feet out to the side nice and wide. Measuring your big box, step into the corners of your box, so forwards, forwards, and back, back. Remember to make that box as big or as small as you want to. And you can bring your arms in, okay? So bring those arms in, so out, out, and in. And we're going to do 4 on this side. 3 and 4. And you can change your lead leg. So leading with the other leg, which is the one I struggle with. 3, 4. And in your own time, you can switch over to that other leg again. Lead the other leg. 4 on that side. And then you can switch over again for your last set. Oh. Last one for me. And back to your march again. Nice quick march. Got a couple minutes left before we start the hard work. Hopefully your breathing is starting to come up. You're feeling a bit warmer. Don't forget to have a slurp of water if you need some. And a nice quick march if you're feeling comfortable. Very good. And slow that pace down. And again, off you go. Nice quick march if you're feeling comfortable. Good. And back down again. Good. Toe taps out to the side again for me. So bring those hands a little bit higher if you can. And if you're feeling comfortable still, you can bring in both of your arms. Good, and back to your march. Good, and we'll just have some little heel kicks out behind. So remember, this is a little bit painful in your knees, and also you can just do some heel digs out in front if you want to. Kicking those heels up. Good, and you can have a little arm swing if you're feeling comfortable. La, 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 la. Whatever version you like.
Mine is better though.
Jodie's is better. I wouldn't even disagree with her on that one. And let's go back to that march again. And a nice quick march just to finish up to the end of the minute. And then we're going to start that hard work. And a little bit faster if you can. And those of you finding it still very comfortable, we can go into a little jog. Very good. All right, slow that pace down again. Excellent. So hopefully you're feeling nice and warm now. That is the warm-up complete. Grab yourself a quick drink, and then we're going to start with the main circuit program. And we're going to start with those half stars, okay? So off we go then. First minute, stepping out, same arm, same leg. So remember with the half stars, okay, so you can reduce that range of movement down, slow that pace down if you want to, or you can make those movements a bit bigger, picking up that pace, or you can bring both arms in if you want. Just remember, you should always be able to talk, so that light to somewhat hard level on that Borg scale. Your breathing should be up, but you should be able to carry on that conversation as we go. Remember that the entire time. Don't forget. It's a good time to put your music on now, because I will be singing for the next 20 minutes.
He doesn't have a mute button either. We have tried.
Thankfully, they invented headphones, so it's okay. Very good. Last few seconds for me, all right? Keep going. Lovely. Let's go back to that march. Next minute, round number 2 is going to be those high knees. So bringing those knees up, touching lightly onto your opposite knee, opposite hand, opposite knee.
Remember, if you need a chair for support to help with your balance, then by all means use one. If it's starting to hurt your hips or your knees, then you just go into the heel digs instead, okay? You're in control, keeping your own comfortable limits.
But if you're finding it nice and comfortable, you can increase the size of those arm movements, picking up your pace slightly. Catching that breath, remember. Doing really well. We're halfway through.
That minute, that is.
That minute, yeah. But I bet short session.
I was going to say that we've done very well.
Good. We've got 10 seconds to go. Keep going, doing really well. Very good. Remember, those of you following Jodie, you're going to go into our first active recovery exercise, which is going to be your bicep curls. Those of you following me, we're going to go into our tap backs.
Okay, so those of you with me, grab yourselves your weights, so your cans of beans or bottles of water, whatever you've got to hand, or if you'd rather do it without, that's not a problem. Just bringing the elbows nicely tucked in, we're just going to go into some nice bicep curls. We took the elbows in just to make sure we're isolating those biceps. Up for 3 seconds, down for 3 seconds, nice and slow, nice and controlled, and just gently keeping those feet moving at the same time.
Good. Those of you following me with those tap backs, give those arms a good swing. If you find something a bit too breathless, just reduce that pace down, reduce that range of movement. Or if you're finding it nice and easy, just bring those arms up a little bit higher, stepping back a little bit quicker, catching that breath, remember. Very good. And again, we've got 10 seconds to go. Doing really well. Keep it up. Last few seconds. Very good. Let's go back to that march again. And we're all going to go for those heel digs. So heel digging out in front. And we're going to bring those arm curls in. All right. So those bicep curls. So you can either do one arm, one leg. You can do same arm, same leg, opposite arm, opposite leg, whatever works for you. As long as you're moving, we really don't mind. And if you want to make things a little bit easier, you can just leave the arms out. Just do the feet. Or just slow movements with the arms and legs. And you want to make it a little bit harder, you can go for the double bicep curl with those legs, heel digging out in front, but don't do the double leg. Very good, everyone. Excellent. As we go into round 5, those of you wanting to follow that 5 to 0 program, stick with the arm, heel dig arm curl for the next minute. Those of you following Jodie, you're going to go into the tap backs, and as you follow me, we're going to go for first active recovery. It's going to be that bicep curl. So remember, tucking the elbows into the sides, slowly bring the weights up towards the shoulder, and relax back down. 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down. Nice upright posture. Keep those feet wiggling away.
So those of you following me on the tap backs, use that chair if you need to, just to help with your balance. If you find it nice and comfortable, then just bring those arms in as you step back, just to increase the intensity a little bit. But remember, keeping in your own comfortable limits. Just have a look at that Borg scale, see where you are on there, and just adjust yourself accordingly. So if you're finding it quite light, pick the pace up a little bit. If you're starting to find that you're getting sort of a little bit more tired, then just reduce the movements down.
10 seconds to go. Well done, everyone. Nice slow movements, but a couple more repetitions if you can. Or I might be able to squeeze them in. Got one more. So good at treating you, aren't I? Very good. We're going to go on to round 6 now. So those of you following me, we're going to go on to the half stars. Those of you following Jodie, you're going to go to your next active recovery, which is going to be the upper back.
Okay, so grab yourselves your weights or your beans or your bottles of water again, standing nice and tall and upright, just gently keeping those feet moving, making sure all the active recoveries, we're just making sure we've got a good posture as well, so just sucking our tummies in a fraction just to make sure we're engaging those core muscles. Going to bring the weights out in front of us, elbows at a 90-degree angle. We're just going to rotate out a little bit. Just imagine you're opening up a large newspaper, opening out for 3 seconds, and closing for 3 seconds. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Aim for those 10 to 12 repetitions.
Remember, with those half stars, bring both arms in front of us, cut forward. You can do one arm, one leg, or opposite arm, opposite leg if you're feeling brave. Entirely up to you. It's a good time now to have a think about that Borg scale. Make sure between light and somewhat hard on there, catching your breath, but still able to talk to us. And let's go back to that march again. Very good. We're going on to round 7. It can be the march and sprint. So marching those feet away. On the count of 3, you can sprint those feet with me, or if you feel you want to take things a little bit easier for this minute, follow Jodie's just going to march through the minute. So those who want to follow me, 1, 2, 3, just sprint those feet. And back to your march again.
Don't forget it is warm today, so just make sure you're sipping on your drink of water as we go throughout the session. It's good to keep hydrated.
And 1, 2, 3, sprint those feet. And back to your march again. I think we've just about fit one more in. And 1, 2, 3, sprinting those feet. Keep going a little bit longer. And back down again. Very good. We're going to walk those feet out to the side. Now we're going on to round number 8. We're going to do those heel kicks. So remember, if this is a bit painful in your knees, just do those heel digs out in front, and we can bring those arm springs in if you're feeling comfortable. So picking up that pace, wiggle those arms a little bit more if you're finding it nice and easy. And just reducing that pace down, or even leave the arms out altogether and just do those heel kicks or the heel digs out in front if you find it's a little bit too much in your knees.
Just check yourself on that Borg scale again, just see where you are. So if you're finding it light, then as Matt said, pick it up a little bit. If you're finding that you've gone above that somewhat hard, just reduce the movements down.
Well done, everyone. Doing really well.
You are, absolutely.
We're steaming towards round number 9.
Almost halfway.
Almost halfway. Let's not sing it again. Last few seconds of this exercise. And we're going to go back to our march. Round number 9, those of you following Jodie can do your tricep kickbacks. Those of you following me, we're going to do our tap backs.
Okay, so grab your weights again, or whatever you've got to hand. Okay, we're just going to bring the weights out in front, elbows tucked in again, and just straighten those arms behind. So imagine you've got some ski poles, so you're doing your Eddie the Eagle impression. This one's working that muscle on the back of our arms, so the tricep, also the bingo wing. Nice and slow, nice and controlled with this one. So out for 3 seconds and back in for 3 seconds. Gently keeping those feet moving.
Remember, with those tap backs, all right, picking up that pace if you're finding it nice and easy, or slowing it down, reducing that range of movement. It's a little bit difficult. Remember, comfortable limits. Say that again. Well done, everyone. Doing really well.
You are, absolutely.
We're about to go on to round 10, which is going to be our halfway point. Got confused there. There you go. Back to your march again. So round number 10, thankfully for us, 4 to 1ers. Okay, it's going to be our upper back. So elbow to the side. Those of you following Jodie, it's going to be your half stars. Okay, so taking this weight out to the side. Open that big newspaper and relax to the middle again. So opening up and back to the middle. Remember, if you're doing that 5 to 0, you can either continue with those tap backs, or you can join Jodie for the half stars.
Remember, you're in control on this one. So if you're following me on the half stars, then either you can just drop the arms out and just do the feet only, or if you're feeling quite comfortable, bring both arms in at the same time just to increase that intensity up and increase the pace. You're in control, keeping your own comfortable limits, and just keep looking at that Borg scale and adjusting yourself as you need to.
Very good, everyone. We've got about 10 more seconds to go. Fit another couple of reps in if we can. Oh, just one more. Just one more. Pull those shoulder blades together, feel that tension across the upper back. Very good. Pop those weights down to one side. We're over halfway. It's around 11 now. And we're going to go into those high knees. So raising those knees up, touching lightly onto your opposite knee. And remember, just reduce that pace down if you need to. Take a bit of time out if you find yourself getting a little bit too puffed. Or if you find nice and easy, increase the size of those arm movements, picking up that pace.
Remember with this one, if you need to use that chair to help you balance, or if it's upsetting your hips, then just drop the knees out and just do your heel digs. As long as those feet are moving, we're quite happy.
We are. Always happy.
Easily pleased.
Yes. We've got 10 seconds to go. We're doing very well.
Absolutely.
That's just us.
We have to compliment ourselves.
Yeah, keep ourselves going, motivate ourselves. Excellent, very good. Back to you, March. Good. Those of you following Jodie, you're going to go onto your calf raises for me, okay? So round number 12. As you follow me, we're going to go into those half stars.
Okay, so this one, the weights are optional, okay? More importantly, we're working those calf muscles. So feet shoulder width apart, okay? Use a chair if you need to aid with your balance. We're just going up onto our toes and back down again. Okay, so just raising those heels off the ground, working those calf muscles, aiming for up for 3 seconds and down for 3 seconds. Nice and slow, nice and controlled.
Okay, remember with those half stars, okay, over both arms or one arm if you find things getting a little bit difficult at the moment. Again, have a think about that ball scout. How are you feeling? Can you still talk to us? Have you muted us and put some music on instead? Very good. Keep going. Last few seconds. And let's go back to that march again. Excellent. Round 13 for me. Let's go back to those heel digs. And bring those arm curls in. Remember, same arm, same leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Whatever you find easier. And as you just finding it just a breeze, you bring both arms in for me. Picking up that pace a little bit more.
Don't forget to have a drink if you need to. And just check yourself again on that ball scale.
Even down, check yourself on the ball scale and have a drink. Very good. Keep going, everyone. Doing really well. Head towards the final straight now. Good. Last 10 seconds. Very good. Back to you, March again. And we're going to go for those tap backs all together. So toe tapping behind, give those arms a bit of a swing. Remember, use that chair if you need to. Just do the feet if you're behind, if you're finding things a little bit difficult. And again, if you're finding things nice and easy, give those arms a bit of a swing. Oh, it's definitely warm today.
It is warm.
Very good. Halfway through this minute. The next one will be round 15. We've just got 5 more exercises to do. Doing really well.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Last couple of seconds. And let's go back to that march again. Excellent. All right, so we're all going to go into an active recovery exercise, okay? So those of you following Jen, you're going to do your lateral arm raises. Those of you following me, we're going to do those tricep kickbacks.
Okay, just gently keeping your feet moving, those of you following me. Grab yourself your weights again, suck those tummies in, and remember to have a good posture as well, just like so we can try and engage those core muscles. And we're just bringing those arms out, shoulder height, no higher. Imagine you're doing your Batman impression. Out for 3 seconds, nice and slow, and back in for 3 seconds.
Those of you following me, remember those tricep kickbacks, elbows out behind, and just going to extend out from the elbow, and then tap back underneath. Those who want to do that 5 to 0, you can just stick with your tap backs for the rest of this minute, which I'm sure you've been doing anyway. Good. We've got time for another couple of repetitions. Out. And then back in again. One more. Hopefully feel it down your triceps in the back of the arms. or your bingo wings. Very good. I did work out the Latin for that, didn't I?
All sorts.
All sorts. I just made it up. Back to your march and sprints then. So swinging those arms, marching those feet. And remember, if you want to just take a little bit easier, follow Jodie if you're just marching through this minute. Those of you want that little bit, then obviously you can follow me as we go 3, 2, 1, and sprinting those feet. Good, and back to your march again. And we'll go again. So 1, 2, 3, sprinting those feet. And back to your march. I reckon we can fit 2 more in. And 1, 2, 3, sprinting those feet. And back to your march. And 1 more. 1, 2, 3, sprint those feet. And back to your march again. Very good. Going on to round 17. So walk those feet out to side, those heel kicks again. And with those arm swings. And remember, all right, you can leave those arms out all together if you need to, and just do those heel kicks, all those heel digs out in front. If it's a little bit too much on your knees. Yeah, take those feet a little bit wide if you find it comfortable. Swing those arms a little bit higher. If you're finding things lovely and easy. Very good, everyone. We're halfway through this minute. We've just got 3 more exercises to do. We're doing really well.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Just see where you are on that Borg scale again. Just make sure you're working within that light to somewhat hard.
And have a drink.
Absolutely. It's important.
Absolutely is. Totally agree. Excellent. All right, let's go back to that march again. Those of you following Jodie, you're going to go back to your bicep curls again. Those of you following me, we're going to go back to our high knees.
Okay, so those of you following me, elbows tucked in, right, standing nice and tall and straight, bringing in those tummy muscles just to engage those core muscles, feet gently moving, bring those arms up for 3 seconds and back down for 3 seconds, nice and slow, nice and controlled.
Okay, so remember with those knee raises, increasing the size of those arm movements, or decreasing if you find things a little bit more tough now as we get towards the end of the program. So make sure you're keeping things in your comfortable limits. So if you need to slow things down now, then that's absolutely fine. You might find you start to tire. But if you're finding it nice and easy, increase the size of arm movements. Keep going. No excuses. That'll be the last 5 seconds. Very good. Back to your march again. We're all going to go into our half stars. It's round 19. Half stars out to the side. Same arm, same leg. Opposite arm, opposite leg if you want that bit more of a challenge. And if you find things nice and easy, you can bring both arms in with that leg out to the side. Excellent. Well done, everyone. We've got 1 more exercise to do after this, and then we're going to go into that cool down. Good. Keep going. 20 seconds to go. Good. Last 10 seconds. Hopefully your breathing is up. You're catching your breath slightly. Just got 1 more minute to go. All right. So we're going to go back to our march again. Those of you following Jodie, you're going to go back to your high knees for your last minute. Those of you following me, we're going to do our calf raises. So again, as Jodie said, optional weights, use your chair if you need to. Down by the side, we're going to go up onto our toes and then back down again. Up onto the toes and back down, but use that chair for support if you need to. So raising up and slowly back down again.
Those of you following me on the knee raises, just to finish up, use that chair if you need to for support. If you're finding that it's upsetting your hips, just drop those knees out, do some heel digs. We're on that last minute now.
Very good. We've just got 25 seconds to go, everyone. Doing so well.
Well done.
We're nearly there. I've got a little bit of a sweat on today. I think I have.
Yeah.
It is warm.
We're glowing.
We are. It's sparkling. And we're going to our last 5 seconds. So another repetition for me up onto your toes And then back down. Very good. Pop those weights to one side. Have a wiggle of those feet. So as always, grab yourself a drink, everyone. All right, we'll give you just a moment just to do that. Don't suddenly stop doing your exercise. Keep those feet moving. Try not to spill your water all down yourself. Okay. And then we're going to go into that cool down. So also we've been working around that light somewhat hard, and we're going to bring it back down the gears nice and slowly, allowing the body to come to rest in a nice controlled way. Good. All right. So just start slowing that pace down. I'm just going to run through the movements again and just reduce the range of movement down. So toe tapping out to the side. So you can leave the arms out now, just reducing that range of movement. So tapping the feet out quite far to begin with. And each time you tap out, you're just going to slow that pace down. You can even bend that supporting knee a little bit, give yourself a bit of tension. Use that chair if you need to for extra balance. And again, slow that pace down a bit more. Leave the foot out there for a moment before you bring it back in. And then start making those steps a little bit smaller each time until we're just doing tiny taps by our side. Good. And we're going to go back to our walk again, walking those feet. We'll do some nice slow heel digs out in front. So again, leave them out there for a second as we do it. And again, even slower now. Good, and back to your walk again. A nice gentle walk in the spot. And we'll have some toe taps out behind. Again, as always, use that chair if you need to. Nice and wide to begin with. Bend that front supporting knee if you can. Feel that tension in that thigh. Maybe in your bum a little bit. And then start making those steps a little bit smaller each time until you're just doing those small steps behind you. Good. And back to your walk. Good. Relax those arms down. Give them a shake down by your side. Just slowing that pace down even more now. Just a nice gentle walk in the spot. Hopefully you'll find your breathing's all coming back down to normal again. Things are getting a lot more comfortable. Good. We're going to do 4 very slow heel digs out in front. Okay, so we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do 4 at your own pace. And then we're going to bring our feet nice and close to the middle, wiggling our toes in your shoes. With the right foot, we're going to step forwards, to the side, and back, and together. Other foot, we're going to go forwards, side, back, and together. Very good. Use the chair if you need to. We're going to slow that pace down. So forwards, back, oh, sorry, side, back, together. Just to confuse things. That was deliberate, that was.
Absolutely.
Side, back, and together. Wiggle those feet. Very good. Roll those shoulders back again. Let's do some stretching to finish off. Nice big slow rolls of those shoulders. One more. Good. Relax those arms down. Give me some teenager shrug. Shrugging those shoulders up to those ears and relax back down. Last one. And relax those arms out. Good. Cross those arms once in front and just once behind. A little bit of a stretch across there. Good. Bringing the hands together in front. Interlink those fingers, pushing out. Bit of stretch across the upper back.
Remember those again that have had surgery, just keeping your own comfortable limits on this one. So just reduce the intensity down if you need to.
Good. Relax down, roll those shoulders back. Give those arms a shake out. Interlink those fingers down by your bum. Bring those hands out behind. Put that stretch across that chest. Very good. Release off. Cross those arms a few times in front. And give those arms a shake out. Very good. Walk those feet out to the side, arms down by the side. Keep those toes wiggling in your shoes. Soften the knees. And we're going to slide down to one side, back up to the middle, and slide over to the other. So remember not to sweep forwards or fall backwards. It's down to the side. Down to the other side. Very good. Let's do one more on each side. Excellent. Very good. And back to your walk again. And we'll finish off with those leg stretches, all right? So we're going to take the foot behind like we did at the start, pushing that heel onto the floor, ease forwards, bending the front knee, hands in the middle upper thigh, pushing that back heel down to the floor. Use that chair if you need to. Feel that stretching the calf muscle down the bottom of the leg. Hold that position.
Just remember to keep your heads up with this one as well. Temptation is to follow your foot. And just with that, it can affect your posture and just make you feel a little bit dizzy. So make sure you've got good posture with this one and keeping your heads up.
Good, and we're going to step back in and we're going to lift those feet. And we're going to take the other foot behind. Good, ease forwards, bend that front knee, hands in the middle upper thigh of that front leg, pushing that back heel down for the floor, for that stretching back leg, feels quite nice usually. Bit of tension, shouldn't be painful at all. If your leg falls off, then just ease out of the stretch. I'm sure you're all laughing at home. No? And step back in. Unfortunately, Joe has heard these jokes about 1,000 times, so it doesn't even faze her anymore.
I didn't even hear that one.
One of our own. Heel dig the Sticky hips out behind, toes pointing forwards, hands supporting on the other leg. Feel that stretching the upper part of the thigh like we did before, but we're just going to hold that stretch for a little bit longer.
Just keep your heads up as well.
And we're going to ease out of there with those feet. Last one for me then, so heel dig the other foot out. Sticking that bum out behind. Very good, and knees back out again. Give yourself a bit of a kick out, give those arms a shake out. Find a spot on the floor, we're going to do that heel toe in that same spot. So ankle activation, heel toe. Don't stare at your feet. You should know where your feet are, so heel toe. Try and get your toes right down onto that spot.
Find that place on the wall or the floor in front of you that you can fix your gaze on, something that's not going to move, and that will help with your balance. And if you need a chair for this one, then make sure you use it.
Absolutely. Very good. And we're going to change over to the other foot. I always feel like I'm the start of a barn dance, I don't know why.
Dipsy-do.
Good. And back to your walk again. Lovely. Give those feet a bit of a kick out. And again, just kick those feet just across the front of you a few times to ease off. Hopefully your body feels nice and relaxed now. Stretched out all those muscles. Give those feet a bit of a kick out. Excellent. All right. Very good, everyone. So hopefully you're feeling all right. You've completed your circuit program for today. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Obviously, this video will be available later on, okay? So, if you want to use this on the same link, all the other videos and everything that we've done so far are up there. So if you want to use it later in the week, you want an extra session in there, then feel free to. Obviously, we'll be back on Friday for another session.
Remember, we are available as well, so if you do have any queries about the exercise, then please feel free to ring in on the number you've got. And similarly, if you've got any queries or any concerns, then as we've already mentioned, there's always a nurse on triage, so please do contact us if you have got any queries or concerns. Similarly, we are still working our way through the list and everything. As we say, the sheer volume, it's just taken us a little while longer than we'd normally like on the follow-up. So if you have got any queries about the exercise or wanting to adjust your level or anything like that, then please don't wait for us to contact you. Please give us a call on that number that you've got. But we are working our way around, so we will be in contact with you shortly.
Very good. All right, you've got yourself a well-done cup of tea now, all right? So go and sort yourselves out and have a lovely day, everyone, and we'll see you back here hopefully on Friday.
Well done. See you Friday. Take care.